Hi, and welcome back. I'm glad to be here this week because it was a tough one. Uh, Recently, I lost someone close to me in my life. His name was Daryl Hoff. And Daryl and his wife, Melody, were actually my first career mentors. Growing up in a small town in Adrian, Michigan, uh, I was looking for a job during my college years, and I landed with them, and they took me under their wings. They owned a small oil company, and we delivered fuel oil, heating oil, and gasoline to rural communities and farmers. Um, this is Daryl was such a influential person on my life. It's hard to even know where to begin. But I guess the place to start is I know that he had been in difficult health for the last couple years, and I remember talking with him a little over a year ago at a funeral where my godmother had passed away. And I said, "Look, I'll be down to see you guys. I'm well overdue. Once I get through tax season." Well, as you can imagine, guess what? Tax season came and went last year, and I never got back. And I was thinking of him earlier in the year, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get through tax season again, then I'm gonna get down there. Well, tax season came and went, and then Daryl went. And when I look back at the impact that he had on my life, I see it twofold. One was the technical things that he taught me about business. If it wasn't for his wife Melody, I may not have even gotten into numbers, into finance, into accounting. I remember Melody sitting at our desk teaching me bookkeeping 101, paper to pencil. Paper to pencil, folks. You know, the era before computers and spreadsheets and all that. And it was how I learned, and it was great. And one of the things I loved about working with Daryl and Melody is that when I would get my accounting work done, if Daryl was around, he'd let me go ride in the truck with him, and we go out and make our deliveries, and I'd pull the hose for him, and he'd write up the invoices, and we would just talk. We'd talk about uh, business, how things ran, customer service. You know, it's hard to it's hard to think back to those times and not realize how much impact he had on me doing what I do today, and the impact I have on working with families, the way that I treat families, the way that I want my relationships to be with the families I work with. So that was the business technical side, which was very important, but not nearly as important as the life lessons. The life lessons are the really cool ones. The stories he would tell um, are endless, uh, but it's those little things that add up to the big things. I recently read this quote. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it went little by little, a little becomes a lot. And I think that's a good way to sum up how my relationship with Daryl was. And even though I didn't get to see him as often as I wanted, I knew he was always there. He was always there. And I think, sorry, I think even though I probably didn't prioritize him as much as I should have, um, I think he will have just as much influence now that he's gone than he did when he was actually here. And I think that's how people's legacies live on. It's when people are gone and we still talk about them like they were still here. and those lessons, they get passed on. And I can't wait to share so many stories with my kids. I think it also points out that, you know, we're all busy. There's no lack of busyness in our lives. And it doesn't matter what stage of life that we're in. It doesn't matter if you're you're trying to raise triplets plus one like I am and Teresa. You have kids of your own. You're even if you're retired. I work with so many I call them young ladies that are retired that have these these social calendars and volunteer calendars that are like in helping support their kids and their grandkids that are just as crazy as when they were working full time and raising their own kids. And you know what, like I said, I wish that I would have spent more time with Daryl, and I hope I don't let this opportunity slip by to spend uh time with Melody, um and the rest of the career mentors that have had such a big part of my life, because there will come a day when they won't be here, and I don't and most of us don't want to look back and wish and have that regret of, man, I wish I would have spent more time with them. And it gets to the point where we ultimately prioritize what's most important in our life in the here and now. And sometimes we don't realize that we we won't have all the time in the world, and it's important to, I think, understand that and take a step back and think about, okay, what relationships do I need to be pouring into? Obviously, the relationships we have, like as parents, I'm talking to parents directly, that are in my situation. Obviously, the relationships with our kids and helping them grow and develop and maintaining a healthy relationship with our spouses, obviously those are key. But I think sometimes we get so busy that we lose sight of the friendships and those mentorships that we once had that we need in our lives. And so it's really easy to um, let those go, but they're so important, so important. And um, even though I don't get to see Daryl anymore, I know that I can I can think back and realize the life lessons that he taught me in the moments that I still need him, and that makes him always here for me. So I know this was a bit of a an emotional talk, but I feel like it's one that I had to do. So that's all I have for this week. We'll see you next time.